Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm doing a look at the updated 2024 US House elections map, and we're looking at the map and what races remain uncalled and whether or not we'll have a Republican or Democratic majority in the House of Representatives. So the current number right now, Republicans have 214 House seats won, Democrats have 203. And you need 218 seats to have a majority in the US House. And we do still have several key races that have not been called yet that are very, very close. So this is the House map right now. For the sake of just keeping things simple, I am going to go to the New York Times proportional map just because it's a little bit easier to see the gray and the blue and the red, but I'm going to be switching back to it by the end of the video if you do not prefer this way, but I just want to point that out now. So I'll start the east and I'll go west. First off, we have Maine's 2nd District. This is one right now, it's very, very close. The Democratic incumbent candidate, Jared Golden, has 49.9%. The Republican, Austin Thurl, I'm not going to say his name correctly, Austin Thurl, has 49.7%. So super, super close, only a difference of about 700 votes or so separating the two candidates. So why isn't this called with over 95% of the vote in? Because the way Maine does its elections is if the vote is not over 50% of the vote for Senate and governor and House races, then it would go to a ranked choice voting system where the last candidate or the write-in candidates would be taken away, and then it would just be Golden versus Thurl. That way, one of them has to break 50% of the vote. We also have a similar situation happening in Alaska that I'll be getting to in 1 second. So this is likely, barring some last votes that come in, this will go to a ranked choice voting thing. And since it's so incredibly close right now, it's anyone's guess for how this is going to go. I mean, the votes right now suggest the Democratic incumbent does have a slight advantage, but again, it remains to be seen how this all ends up going in Maine's 2nd District. We also had some flips in some competitive Republican areas. In PA 7, the Republican candidate narrowly won against the Democratic incumbent. Same thing in Pennsylvania 8, where the Democratic incumbent narrowly lost to the Republican. Looking now, I don't see any in Florida or Georgia, so we're going to go to Ohio's 9th District, where Marcy Kaptur, the Democratic incumbent, currently has a 0.3% lead over the Republican. Right now, this would be a very, very close race. I'm not sure if there's enough votes out here for the Republican to take the lead over the Democratic incumbent. I think it's more likely than not the Democrat holds on, but it's still very, very close. It's also worth noting that the Libertarian candidate is getting 4% of the vote, which is likely helping the Democrat probably hold on and win this seat. Michigan 7th District, this was a flip, or it says it was a flip anyway. There might have been a retiring incumbent. The Republican candidate was able to win there. Looking now at Iowa, Iowa is a really close race right now. Where look at this, the Republican incumbent is leading by just 0.2%, a margin of about 800 votes separating the Republican incumbent and the Democratic challenger. That one's very, very close. If the Republican holds on here, this will bring Republicans up to 215 congressional seats, so that would get them one step closer to the majority. Looking now in Louisiana's 6th District, this looks like one where I think it's maybe the top two advance, but this is certainly looking like it's going to be a Democratic district when all things are said and done. Colorado, District 8, Republican challenger Gabe Evans, Democratic incumbent Yadira Carvillo. It's looking like this one's going to be a Republican win. I've seen some other news publications like Decision Desk HQ call this race for the Republican, so that's looking like this race is going to go red. With the other one, that would get Republicans up to 216 within 2 seats of getting the majority. Now we're going to look at the state of Arizona. Arizona at 6th District, Republican Juan Ciscomani is leading by 0.6% over Democrat Kirsten Engel. I believe this district, I'm going to go to the district map for 1 second. I believe, yes, this is the one that has Cochise County where there was a problem with one of the voting machines that they're having to have fixed. So this one might go on for a few more days as more vote comes in, but I expect Juan Ciscomani will hold on to this one. This will also get Republicans up to 217 if the votes remain the way they are right now. Now looking at Washington's 4th District between Republican Dan Newhouse and Republican Jared Sessler. This is going to be a Republican-held seat either way. It's just a question of whether it'll be Newhouse or Sessler who wins this seat, so that would be a Republican hold. I don't think that would be a Republican pickup. Oregon's 5th District, a 3-point race between Democrat Janelle Bynum and Republican Lori Chavez de Remer. It's a 3-point lead for the Democrat right now. I believe if this flips, this would be a Democratic win, so that's one to watch for right now. Looking like the Democrat is on track to win this race with 13% of the vote left to count. Now we come to, actually, let's do Alaska first before we get to California, because there's a lot in California. Alaska, this is Democratic Representative Mary Peltola, or Peltola. Oh my God, I cannot talk today. Peltola. This is a very, very close one where it's a 4-point race for Nick Begich against her. It's likely going to go to ranked choice voting like in Maine if neither candidate breaks 50%. And if it does, Nick Begich versus Mary Peltola, this is anyone's guess. We're going to have to wait and see how this goes. Begich certainly has the advantage, but again, once the Alaskan independent candidate's taken away, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Right now, in ranked choice voting, I think Begich will probably win by about 2% based on the numbers and how they voted right now, but again, we'll have to wait and see. Now we have California, where there are several races still to go in the state. California District 9, the Democratic incumbent, has a lead of 2%, but there's also only 64% of the vote in, so there is 36% of the vote remaining, so there's definitely enough votes for the Republican to come back and win, so definitely very important the votes are counted there to see how that ends up going. In District 13, John Duarte is leading Democratic challenger Adam Gray. I feel like this might be a rematch of 2022. These names sound very familiar to me. He's a 2-point lead right now over Adam Gray. Similar situation in that the incumbent is currently leading by 2 points, but again, with over 39% of the vote to go, this race is certainly capable of going either way, so the votes definitely have to be counted in that one. In California District 22, David Valadao against Rudy Salas, 77% in, an 8-point lead for Valadao. Looking like more likely than not Valadao will hold on, but still a significant number of votes left out there that could flip the margin, so definitely one to watch there. District 21, Jim Costa, the Democratic candidate, going up against the Republican Michael Mayer. This is a 1% margin of victory difference between the Democrat and Republican, with a third of the vote left to count. Very, very close. This could certainly go either way, so this is a very, very close one to watch. California District 27, this is Republican incumbent Mike Garcia. He's taking on Democrat George Whitesides. It looks like right now, with 2% margin of victory and 80% of the vote in, Whitesides is on track to win this district and flip it back to the Democratic side. There is 20% of the vote remaining, so it is possible Mike Garcia could make up that about 5,000 vote difference between Whitesides and Garcia, but I think it's looking more likely right now. Whiteside's going to hold on and win this race. In California, 47, a 1-point lead between the Democratic candidate and the Republican candidate. There's no incumbent, so this must be an open seat. This might be, I believe, Katie Porter's district, who ran for Senate back in the spring, so that could be that district as well. California 49, a 4-point lead for the Democratic candidate against the Republican candidate, 77% of the vote in. The Democrat appears to be on path to win there, but again, has to wait for all the votes to come in. In California 45, the Republican incumbent has a 2-point lead with 20% of the vote remaining. Definitely got to watch that one very, very closely. And in District 39, their Democrat has a 12-point lead over the Republican with 70% of the vote in, looking like the Democrat will hold on and win there. In California 41, a 2-point lead for the Republican over the Democrat. Again, 70% of the vote in, so 30% remaining. Have to count the votes there. So based on the seats that are out there right now, and since the Republicans are already at 214, it's looking like Republicans are going to narrowly win majority of the U.S. House. The Republicans are certainly more favored to win the House than the Democrats are. However, by how much? That's the question, because there are a lot of close races right now where Republicans and Democrats are narrowly leading. I wouldn't be shocked if Republicans flip the House, like get under 220 seats, and the Democrats probably get around like close to, what's that, about 210, 212? I wouldn't be shocked if it's only like 3 or 4 seat majority in the U.S. House for the Republicans when all things are said and done. So even though the Republicans are certainly favored right now, there are a lot of close races out there. The margins, depending on how the votes come in, can flip at any second. This is very important to watch and very, very close, and something to keep an eye on going forward. So that'll do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to give this video a like, click subscribe, share with your friends and family, and I hope to see you in a future video. That will do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to give it a like, and if you really liked it, please remember to click the subscribe button, and make sure you turn post notifications on so you always get notified when I post a new video. That way you never miss one. Also, please remember to share this video with your friends and family if you really like the video. And remember to stay tuned, because I'll be posting at least one video every single day leading up until Election Day. So I'd really appreciate it if you keep coming back and watching those videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video.